You may have heard of the Mitsubishi Outlander, but did you know that it's available as a plug-in hybrid? I'm Tom Voelk for the Seattle International Auto Show, and it's rated at 38 miles of all-electric range. You know the plug-in hybrid concept, right? Charge it up, and this has an EPA-rated all-electric range of 38 miles or 61 kilometers. Once the battery is spent, it seamlessly switches to gas. Oh, and it seats up to 7. Kind of. Assuming they're charged up on a regular basis, plug-in hybrids have some distinct advantages over pure EVs. If you travel a lot and there isn't reliable charging infrastructure on the routes that you take most often, this is electric power when you want it, gas when you need it. You've got two power sources you can switch between. And if you can't easily install level 2 charging where you live, these will juice up easily on standard 120 current because you don't need a full battery. The gas engine always has your back. But that's also the disadvantage. There's maintenance to be done on the 4-cylinder, stuff like oil changes. A reminder, there's a gas-only Outlander, largely based on the Nissan Rogue. The plug-in's base price is around $41,200 with destination. This top trim SEL Touring, fully optioned, MSRP is for nearly $51,000 with the $2,700 premium package. That adds upgraded semi-aniline leather seats with massage for driver and passenger, a heated wheel, a punchy Bose audio upgrade, and a better view of the sky. Here's what makes it go. The gas side is a 2.4-liter 4-cylinder, which is different than the one in the ICE Outlander model. In total, there's 248 horsepower and 332 pound-feet of torque. The two front motors, one turns the wheels, the other is mostly for power recuperation, act as a continuously variable automatic transmission. Outlander plug-in hybrid is strictly all-wheel drive, or super all-wheel control in Mitsubishi speak. I was able to try it out at a very sloppy Mudfest, the SUV of the Year contest put on by the Northwest Automotive Press Association. Representative Jeremy Barnes rode shotgun with me. And the wheels in the back are driven how?
The rear drive is 100% electric. There is no mechanical connection between the rear drive system and the ICE, the internal combustion engine, and the front electric motor. The rear electric motor is larger than the front, and that is by design because we want to actually drive the vehicle forwards in a performance situation.
The Outlander did not take the more extreme course, but it waltzed around the standard off-road section without any problems whatsoever. It was very poised, and I really don't see owners taking it on anything tougher than this. There was a buzz about this vehicle during the entire event. Ultimately, it grabbed the 3-row family SUV title plus the grand prize of Northwest Outdoor Vehicle of the Year. Back to the powertrain, like most hybrids and plug-ins, there's generally little to no sound when firing up. Nissan Rogue owners will recognize the cluster graphics and the nubby drive selector. Recuperation drag is dialed in or added using these. The floor-mounted lithium-ion battery pack is 20 kilowatt hours. The innovative pedal allows for near one-pedal driving. I'll get to that later. It can be forced into EV mode, or battery power can be saved for later. The engine can even charge the pack, which is not efficient. There are drive modes that help adjust the electronics to the terrain drivers want to cross. I can tell you from my experience at Mudfest that this works well. There's even a heads-up display on the SEL Touring. Nice. Charging? It should take 6.5 hours using home level 2, 16 hours for 120, and it can be DC fast charged. You'll be fighting Nissan Leafs for CHAdeMO terminals. An 80% charge takes just under 40 minutes. Remember, the gas engine eliminates range anxiety. In pure EV mode, Outlander is pretty zippy. Technical jargon. Driving on battery power alone is pretty satisfying. You know, electric motors, low-end torque and all. Now, even if you're in pure EV mode and you mash the throttle, it will fire up the gas engine because essentially you've asked for it. It's really easy to tell. There's kind of a click at the bottom of the pedal travel. The plug-in costs a lot more than the gas Outlander. For that extra cash, the PHEV offers extra oomph. At just under 7 seconds for this 4,600-pound machine to hit 60 miles an hour, it's around 2 seconds quicker to the benchmark. Over the course of 4 charges, I averaged closer to 34 miles with temperatures in the low 70s. If you live in Duluth, Minnesota, you'll see less EV range in January, but then again, the gas engine means you'll never be stranded. This being a plug-in hybrid, fuel economy is kind of what you make it. Now, if you never juice up, which would be kind of stupid, the EPA says that this gets 26 miles per gallon. Now, if you do charge every night and say it only gets 30 miles on a charge, annually you're looking at 10,500 miles of electric driving. And that's figuring in that you forget to charge like 2 weeks out of the year because, that happens. Leaving the drive mode in normal is the no-brainer way to operate the Outlander. Once the pack is depleted, the vehicle operates like a regular hybrid, and the dynamic is pretty smooth. The gas engine isn't intrusive, unless you floor the go pedal. If you plan on towing, the Outlander Plug-In Hybrid can tug up to 1,500 pounds. In max recuperation mode or using the innovation pedal, this has fairly aggressive regeneration, but it won't come to a complete stop on its own. You do have to use the brake pedal. Here's the thing, this is always using the physical brakes to some degree. That keeps the braking experience consistent no matter what mode you're in, EV, gas, or hybrid. Actually, it kind of makes sense. Outlander's suspension is tuned for comfort. It soaks up bumps very nicely. If you chuck this hard into a corner or stop suddenly, there's going to be some body movements. This is an SUV, not a sports car. There's a lot of rogue in the Outlander's cabin. That's not a bad thing, especially in the top SEL touring model. Stitching gives it a richer look. These feel like they're filled with memory foam. I'm not sure if Mitsubishi uses the same zero-gravity seats as Nissan, but to a person, everyone that parked their Keister in these heated chairs found them supremely comfortable. The bolstering might be a bit much for large folks. A bird's-eye camera view is always good to have, especially off-road. There are a lot of cargo slots carved out inside this space, a place for everything and everything in its place. The center console has room for my lunch. Tuna. The glove box is standard size. This is a pretty thick owner's manual. Again, there's a lot of Nissan in the user interface, meaning it's rudimentary. Though it can be configured, that's easy to do. I figured it out without looking it up in the manual. Touch response is decent too. Fortunately, not everything is done on the screen. There are hard controls for things that drivers need to get to quickly. Higher models get a phone charge pad and wireless Apple CarPlay. Android Auto integration requires a cord. I mentioned that Outlander seats 7. Technically, this is about the same size as a CR-V, RAV4, Sportage, or Tucson, so row 3 is pretty much for emergencies. It works for preschoolers, not high schoolers. There's some optimistic creature comforts, too. The middle row has belts for 3. For comfort, best to keep it to 2 full-sized adults. Nice to have a separate climate zone and heated seats for the outboard positions, and extra pockets on the seat backs for the win. Plus, this feature is terrific. It helps to show those in row 3 some love. To tell you the truth, I'm a little surprised that once the back row is hiked up, there's still some room left to stash things away. It's not a lot, but think of these 2 bundles of TP representing a couple carry-on suitcases. There are much larger SUVs that don't do much better. But I really feel the way back isn't going to be used much. Most of the time, this seat will be dropped. Remote releases? Yes, please. With all the seats down, there's a reasonable 64.7 cubic feet of cargo space. Not only is the floor pretty much flat, the seats get a 40-20-40 split. Some premium vehicles don't get that luxury, with the middle row usable. It measures out to be about 31 cubic feet, about the same as a Honda CR-V or Toyota RAV4. Want to keep the brood safe? Outlander Plug-In Hybrid is now an IIHS top safety pick. Understand that different trim levels get various amounts of safety tech. It can get the family to the good hiking trails comfortably, efficiently, and safely. Check out the Outlander Plug-In Hybrid at your local Mitsubishi dealership. For the Seattle International Auto Show, I'm Tom Voelk.